Hello everyone, welcome to my class. I am Dr. Ganesh from India. Today we are going to see about cyber physical systems. The cyber physical systems, CPS, it is an industry revolution 4. Actually the industry revolution starts in the era of 18th century. In the 18th century, initially all these production industries, they have converted from manual production into mechanical. That is the industry revolution 1. And then in late 1960s, the industry revolution 2 has been evolved. In this, all the machineries has been converted into a automated. That is industry revolution 2. And then when the computer has emerged into an field, then the industry revolution 3 has been evolved, where all the systems, all the devices and machineries are monitored by computer. So that is industry revolution 3. Industry revolution 4 is a cyber physical system. It was emerged after Internet of Things. Today we are going to discuss about cyber physical system, industry revolution 4. In our lecture, we are going to see that overview of cyber physical systems and what is the CPS perspective and how the industries are going to have an heterogeneity principle, and then how the coordination is going to happen from the physical system as well as the information processing. At last, we are going to see that what is the future for cyber physical system, especially in different disciplines. And then we are going to see that what is the cross boundaries and how the CPS system will be implemented in a very harder way. At last, what is the long-term goal for this cyber physical systems? Now, in this overview, the scientific challenges, what are the cyber physical systems, and major the scientific challenges are composition and compositability. So, how to build composed network cyber physical system at the large scales, and how to achieve the compositionability in high confidence, dynamic and latest industry cultural. And then design and design automation. What is the meaning and the cost of heterogeneity, because in cyber physical system we are going to integrate the physical process as well as the information processing. So this heterogeneity will comes into a design and design automation. And then how to accommodate changes in products, design process and the evaluation. At last, the interaction based computing, where what are the new computing paradigms which can be supporting for cyber physical systems, and how to model interactions among the physical process and the information processing. The CPS computing perspective. In this computing perspective, we all know that there are two types of computing systems, that is the desktop server, PCs and notebooks, and then embedded system computing, where in 20th century all these was involving in desktop server, PC and notebook computing services, where only the millions of microprocessors are going to be used, and in 21st century embedding computing has been evolved. Then the invisible part, that embedding part is going to be an invisible part of an environment which is going to transform the industry strategies. And if you look at it here, in this number of microprocessor units per every device, then the millions of microprocessor which is going to be fabricated in a desktop, whereas in billions of microprocessors are going to be embedded into an embedded processors. So these CPS can be applicable in this following industries. It starts from automotive systems, aerospace systems, consumer electronics, health and medical equipment and industrial automation, where the industrial automation, supervisory and control systems, which is more famous in industries like a SCADA and distributed control systems, which is mostly used in chemical and power plants and manufacturing systems. And then this CPS will be widely used in defense side, where the source of superiority in all weapon systems. This is a computing perspective in cyber physical systems. Next, we are going to see that system perspective. As a system perspective, how the CPS can be involved. Now we are taking as three major sectors. It's starting from transportation, defense energy and industrial automation. In this transportation, where we are considering here is an aircraft. The aircraft has to be fly faster, the speed has to be increased, at the same time it has to consume very less in energy. And also we are much giving importance, especially the CPS is giving much importance to safer with the less energy. That is a system perspective in terms of transportation sector. And then defense side, it is more capable defense systems, the defense systems that make better use of networked fleets for an autonomous vehicles. In energy and industrial automation sector, the new and renewable energy sources like a home, office, buildings and then vehicles that are more energy efficient and cheaper to operate. Now we can see that what is the CPS definition, Cyber Physical System Industry Revolution 4 definition. In a CPS is a system in which where the information processing and the physical processing so tightly integrated that it is not possible to separate whether the behaviors are the result of the both physical laws or it may be working together. We cannot separate the physical processing and information processing, where the functionality and the salient system characteristics are emerging through the interaction of physical and computational objects. Now, the heterogeneity and modeling languages. As we are discussing that in Industry Revolution 4, the CPS is going to have an physical process as well as a computing process. So, here in this picture, we can see that this domain is an computing system composition domain and this is an physical system composition domain. So, this both computing system as well as the physical system composition domain will be integrated through the physical instantiation. For that, we required a logical specification as well as the physical system characteristics. Now, we can see that how the physical system characteristics and then how the logical system characteristics with the specification. So, both are going to be an identical in nature, only the slight changes are going to be there. Whereas, if you consider a cyber model and then this is a physical models, both the cyber models and the physical models, the modeling languages are going to be as a structured and behavior in nature, whereas its property slightly differs when it comes into a mathematical domain in computing system composition domain, where the transients and state variables, no reference semantics or semantic units. Whereas in physical models, the physical laws will be enforced to accommodate in the physical system composition domain, where the physical variables and physical units will be implemented here. Now, we can see that interaction and coordination. We know that the CPS is going to have both the cyber as well as a physical. So, how the both cyber and physical system can interact as well as the coordinate to achieve the Industry Revolution 4. When we consider the changes in cyber systems, there is a rich time models instead of sequencing in nature, and then the behavioral invariants instead of the end results. Then the functionality through interactions of ongoing behaviors instead of sequence of actions. Component architectures instead of procedural abstraction. Concurrency models with partially ordered instead of linearly ordered event sets. This is a characteristics of cyber systems, the changes in the cyber system. The same way we can see that the changes in the physical system, where we required the precise interaction and coordination protocols and hugely increased system size with controllable and state variables and dynamic system architecture and adaptive automatic behaviors and self-descriptive and self-monitoring system architecture for safety and guarantees. This is the way both the interaction and coordination between the physical system and the cyber systems. Now we can see that how the transformation of industries, what the industries currently they have a picture and what is the better future by using of this cyber physical system. We are going to consider three major industry, where the first one is we are considering as a automotive industry. So, the transformation of industries automotive, where the current picture is largely it is focusing on single vehicle focus. So, they will be implementing whatever the facility, whatever the safety, whatever the energy consumption, which is going to be incorporated for single vehicle focus only. So, integrity of safety and the fuel economy is the current picture. Safety and convenience, whatever the add-ons as like a complex airbag systems and GPS, any other collision avoidance or radar systems, which is a current picture of automotive industry. So, what the CPS can be included in the better future for the next automotive industries? Here, the multi-vehicle high capacity cooperative control roadway technologies can be included, and the vehicular area networks, and then energy absorbing smart materials for collision protection purpose, alternative fuel technologies as like a smart skin, integrated photovoltaic and energy scavenging, and integrated operations of diversion and smart tires, active aerodynamic surfaces, at last the safety, security, privacy, certification, regularity, enforcement through that CPS Industry Revolution 4. Next, healthcare and medicine industries, where the National Health Information Network Electronic Patient Record Initiative, where all the medical records at any point of services can be accessed through various hospitals or any other online e-resources systems. And then home care, where the monitoring and control through that the pulse oximetry, that is oxygen saturation, blood glucose levels, and infusion pumps, that means the insulin level, and accelerometer and wearable networks. And then the operating room of the future, it is going to be as like a closed loop monitoring control system, multiple treatment stations in a single domain, and the plug and play devices, robotic microsurgery which can be guided from remotely. The system coordination challenges, the progress in bioinformatics side, the gene, protein expression, and then the system biology, disease dynamics and control mechanisms. The electric power grid, we all know that how the electric power grid as on date, where the equipment production, it can be implemented by means of only tripping the mechanism. If any other electrical apparatus which is going to be an abnormal or any other hazardous situation, then automatically it will be tripping it. So, that is the only reactive method we are using it as on date, but in future the real time cooperative control of protection devices can be included, and the self healing in nature, it will aggregate the islands of stable bulk power which will provide a protection, market motives and green computing technologies, and where the issues are standard operational control concerns exhibit wide area characteristics. The context is the market behavior and power routing transactions and regulations. So, now we are calling it as a CPS, the cyber physical system is going to be very hard. Why it is hard? Because it involves three different interdisciplinary systems. It starts from the system. The first discipline is the system, and the second discipline is going to be a control, and the third discipline is going to be a software. So, all three disciplines are independent in nature for a current situation. Now, if we want to implement the Industry Revolution 4 CPS, then we need to connect all the three domains into a single domain to make it as a CPS. So, how we can make it that crosses the interdisciplinary boundaries, which can be achieved by the following methods. That was, the disciplinary boundaries need to be realigned, the first method, and the new fundamentals needs to be created, and the new technologies and tools need to be developed, and the education system need to be restructured, so that when the people can understand both the software control systems, so that we can able to make a effective CPS Industry Revolution 4. The long term goal, it is going to transform how we interact with the physical world, just like the internet transformed how we internet with one another. It means that control the physical environment from remote locations. So, the building the CPS, the cyber physical system that integrate the computational and physical, it requires a new system of science foundations. The fusion of physical and computational science is required so that we can able to achieve this CPS in an effective way. This will produce a significant impact on society and national competitiveness. Finally, we can summarize that the CPS represent the coming new age in system designing. The required technologies as well as the technology changes are going to be a fundamental, and it is going to be the beyond the multidisciplinary design. The impact on the competitiveness, it is going to be very huge in CPS or the foundation for the systems industry. If we consider the cross boundaries as well as whatever the interactions and heterogeneity, if we can able to implement it, we can able to succeed in implementing the cyber physical systems industry revolution 4. Thank you.